This former prison was overcrowded from the moment its doors first opened. Built with roughly 800 individual cells, the Tennessee State Penitentiary received more than 1,400 inmates almost immediately after construction was completed in 1898. That overcrowding became the foundation for nearly a century of deteriorating conditions, violence, and federal intervention before the prison was finally shut down in 1992. More than 30 years later, the cell blocks are still decaying. The facility's death row remains hidden within, and damage from a 2020 tornado is visible throughout the property. After driving nearly 1,000 miles to Tennessee, I'm attempting to spend the night inside this abandoned prison to uncover what remains of an institution that began failing from the day it opened. Let's explore.
Yeah.
There's an opening up there.
Let's do the opening then. Let's do the opening. Oh, what's that? That's it. That's it. Okay. Holy shit. Oh my God, we're here. Oh, it looks like a castle.
That should be the power plant over there.
Yes, that's the power plant in that far corner. They're all cells right here. Right in front of our face, guys. You can't even see it. Wow. This is insane. Holy, that's so cool. So this is more open over here.
People live here. Just live in these caravans. Security's just up there, I think.
So what are they doing in there then?
Well, these are living in here. These are caravans.
Just right on the outside?
Yeah. They're just offices. Why are their cars all still?
The only thing is all the cars are exactly the same, like they're government cars. I think they're offices.
I kind of think
Wow. Alright everyone, I'm going to take one or two more clips before heading to bed. Basically, as I'm going to put the light to the side here and only shine it for about a second, I have my sleeping bag, my pizza blanket right there up against the railing, and we're going to try to get a good couple hours of shut-eye. It's obviously very late or early, depending on how you're looking at it, but we're really not under any time constraints, so I'm probably going to get up in the morning to get some shots during sunrise and then go back to bed, and then tomorrow we're going to really explore this place top to bottom. So I hope you guys are excited, and let's explore. This is the second level. With cell blocks in the front at 5:30 a.m. Good morning from Nashville, everybody. It is currently 7:30 in the morning. I only slept for about 2 hours, but it's time to get up and explore the abandoned Tennessee State Penitentiary. This place has been top of my list for about a year and a half now, and I could not be more excited that we're in here. Sounds like a movie script, but this is a real life dream come true for me. So we're gonna get up, start exploring now. We just put all of our stuff away, got packed up, and took a look around where we're staying in. These windows are letting in so much more light than we thought. I might not need a light at all for my camera, even to look in the cells. So speaking of, we're actually going to look first and foremost into a cell right now. They're all pretty repetitive, super decayed. That's the only thing that really varies in each one. And if I just spin out into my left, we have to be careful because if you remember back to last night, we figured out there's administration trailers or office trailers out there with a bunch of government-looking vehicles. And even though we haven't seen or heard anyone yet, we're going to be extremely careful because we don't want to get caught up in one way, shape, or another. So while I'm traversing across this part, I'm being super careful about my surroundings because at the very least we know that there is security here. So basically I'm going to go to the end of this hall right here, see 1 or 2 more cells, and then we're going to head up and down, meet up with the boys, and get going. There's so much to see here, from the medical buildings to death row to the execution chair and all. And so without further ado, we'll look into one more cell here just to show you it's repetitive. This one actually has less decay in it than the first one that we just saw. And now I'll turn to my right and show this perspective. It's absolutely insane. I love this place. We've barely looked around. We've barely seen anything besides these cells in the courtyard walking in. And I have to say, I'm in love with it. So let's explore. Let's freaking do this thing. I could not be more excited. Let's get it going. Guys, before we go any further, I just wanted to note that these cell doors are not the original doors. They were replaced, I don't know if it was before or after the tornado that hit in 2020, but they replaced them because the old ones were just decrepit and falling apart for the movie set, or at least one of the movie sets. There was quite a few podcasts, movies, TV shows, and so on and so forth, even music videos that were shot here, but these doors were all replaced. You can even see over here on the ground they have one as well, which obviously was never really put in the first place. I think there's a couple other cells that have them in them as well. Yeah, like right here, there's a whole bunch of extra ones. And if we just come up close, you can see it's just a cheap piece of wood and a cheap piece of metal or something here, and it's barely being held together. But yeah, besides the top floor, just once again, interesting to note that none of these doors are original, which is just a very interesting contrast when you look at the place as a whole. This looks to be one of the more decayed cells on this level. So we'll step in here just to see the amenities that are provided. We have a very old looking toilet, a very old looking sink, and a very old looking vent, and no mirror. And that's it. That's it. That's literally it. There's nothing else. But the view is nice though. You can come out, peer around the door, look out into the field, and just wish that you were out there instead of in here. Depressing, but this was real life. Not that long ago, honestly. I mean, it's been abandoned for 30 years. But before that, this place was overcrowded and bustling with life. I think we've seen enough from this 4th tier of cell blocks. Let's head up to the top level, which should be the level where we're most visible, unfortunately, to the front side, which is what we want to avoid. But I think you guys will get a kick out of the contrast in the decayed side and then the side that was hit by the tornado back in 2020. So let's come up here. You have to be very careful. Way more in the open. But right off the bat, you might notice what I was talking about with the cell doors. This, I believe, was probably the shower, not actually a cell, and so that one's going to be unique in itself. Not much to note in there. It's pretty dark and gross, honestly. Little shower head, the nozzle up in the corner. But if I just turn out and come on over very carefully and quietly, we can see these are the original doors. So I'm not 100% sure why these were not replaced. Maybe they just didn't need them or didn't want to use them for the film, or maybe they were in nice enough condition already. But these are the actual original doors compared to the wooden and metal ones that we saw below. But this is the view from the top level. I'm gonna get down so we can see this perspective here, and then basically the tops to these windows are all open and I'm extremely visible. I still haven't seen anyone yet, but to play it safe, because I already saw basically the entire layout of this whole cell block, I'm just going to skip over going down there. But yeah, that's how this looks. Actually, we will go into this one cell right here because it's just right next to us, and there's some art, I guess, up in the corner. Oh my god, holy shit. Oh. Holy mother of pearl on planet Earth. That scared the daylight out of me. Okay, well, we're gonna go to the other side here and check out the view in the courtyard. So let's go see that. But holy crap, I'm glad I got that on video. Now my heart is really beating. Guys, look at this. I was about to go out and show you the courtyard, but from the same cell where that owl flew out of, I heard a noise. That egg is hatching with a baby owl in it. I don't want to get any closer, I feel bad. Don't want to freak out, Mama. But I just wanted to point that out really quick. But yeah, we are extremely visible. And it looks like there's like a truck or some sort of ATV out there. So I don't really want to traverse across when I can be seen the entire time. But yeah, I'll zoom back out. Show you the cells again here. Gonna be extremely repetitive. Minus maybe some artwork and again the level of decay on the inside. But I think we've seen enough and we get the point. But this is crazy. Baby owls in there. We'll shut this off and go this way so that way Mama can come back to her children, or her soon to be born children. Let's turn the corner and walk over here. And this is just everything. I'm gonna shut up and let the natural noises do the talking, because I think they speak louder than any words could speak right now. Don't want to trip and fall. This is very decayed and destroyed. Look at this as I pan up. That's so insane. That's the gate where we came in last night, and it appears that they can drive in from both there and off to the right. So we have to be very careful of that. Don't really want to just be hanging out in the courtyard too much. But I'll turn to the left and check this out. Again, I don't want to fall, so I'm gonna really be careful here. But this is where, or partially where, this place was hit directly by the tornado. So all of this just collapsed in. We can walk over here. I can show you the interior of the showers. It's the same thing, so you get the point. But there are original doors here as well, which does kind of answer the question if they replaced everything or not. I don't know why they would have replaced these or even how, but these are the actual original doors. It's not just those ones on the other side. Coming down a level, I figured we might as well step over here to the blown out side really quick, because I think we might be able to see better. Yeah. Wow. Look at that. That's insane. We're gonna step over here and actually look in one of the cells this time, since the other ones were too overgrown on that upper level. I don't really trust this floor too much, but if I flip into here, I mean, that is just insane. Same thing, empty, a little bit more colorful, but it looks awesome. And then flip back out, see down here, it's crazy. You can just see how much overgrowth has come in already this year. And it's just the beginning of spring, which is crazy that it looks like this. Alright guys, so I linked up with Tom and Kyle. They're down at the end. I just wanted to see this perspective because I didn't walk down here at all yet. They did come back and know as they were walking around, they did hear gunshots ring out from behind the facility, it sounds, or at least near it. And I don't think I really mentioned this yet, or I haven't really talked about it, but they have done and still do military training here every once in a while. So there have been explorers that have been in here and have gotten caught up with Black Hawk helicopters and so on and so forth, had to hide throughout the day / make a crazy escape. And so we're hoping that doesn't happen to us. It sounds like those gunshots are further away. I haven't really heard them myself, but it's something to keep in mind as we're going throughout here. This place is no joke. Security could drive through at any point just without us having any idea really, and we could be surrounded by Army helicopters in about 5 seconds if we're not careful. So that up here, Tom and Kyle, they're all done shooting. They've been waiting on me for like an hour, and we're gonna go move to the next part. So let's explore. Just got super bright. I can't even see the screen. Wow. This is incredible. So this is death row?
Yeah.
You heard it first, guys. Wow. Look at those doors.
Heavy duty.
Yeah, you are not coming in or out of here. Holy moly. Okay, so looks like there's cells everywhere. Okay. What's over here? I need my light maybe for, oh my gosh. It's kind of big.
Yeah, start up this side and then we can go.
Okay. Okay, cool. Let's go. What, all the way down first? Off to our right should be the first set of death row cells, and wow. This is so different. So different from that cell block that we slept in. Look at this. The wall is just gone, or the door, or the grate. Look at that. Where it used to connect up there. It's so heavy duty. These are like real prison cells.
Yeah, look at the size of that.
Oh my gosh.
Heavy duty.
I wonder if there was like, you know, that lever that opens and closes. No, I think these are all individual actually.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Would probably make sense. Look at this. That bed is just turned inside out. Holy moly. Wow. This looks insane. I'm gonna try to zoom in. A couple more amenities. We have a nicer toilet. Extra couple crates in the back. But that's still about it. Why are these death row cells, minus the view, nicer and bigger than the main cell block? That's crazy. Wow. Each one is just decayed a little differently. But I think what we're gonna do is go around to the end, and then as long as it loops to the right, which I think it does, we're gonna walk down the second set of death row cells, which should probably be the same. I'm assuming, right? The execution chairs, or at least the room is in a different building, if not the medical building.
It's in this building.
No way, it is? Oh. So they didn't even make them leave the building.
They could probably hear them.
Yeah, no, literally. Okay, this is wild.
That activity area. These cells are very similar to the ones next door. It's the far cells that are maybe even more heavy duty.
Really?
Yeah. So, yeah, excited to see those ones.
I'm excited to see those too. So I'm assuming you didn't walk in there yet, or you did?
I
Peeked your head in, maybe?
peeked in.
Oh, it's so much darker in here. Look at this. Cell 10. Look at that decay on the underside of that bed. That's gnarly. This is so different, so isolated. Even though it's right next to everything, it's kind of in the middle of the courtyard when you look at it from an overhead perspective. And here's cell 6. Wow. This is crazy. It looks like there's some old wallpaper up there with some designs. This is nuts. And yeah, this is the end of the second set. So very similar, just darker. I'll zoom in here so we can see that. That's crazy. And now we'll come out back into the light. I don't know if I'll need my camera light for this next one or not. We will see in a moment. Yeah, it's pretty dark in this one too. I'm assuming gonna be pretty much exactly the same. Well, you know what? This is crazy. Holy crap.
Someone's drawn something.
That's insane.
Made their own wallpaper.
Look at this. It's like, what, flowers or something? Zoom in on that. What was that drawn with, crayons? I'm going to squeeze through here. It's very narrow. And turn to the right. We'll see a couple other cells. This one is pretty bland, so we can just skip over it. This one is red with some kind of white something smeared all over the wall. It doesn't even look like art. It looks like, I want to say shoe prints or something, but like chalk. I'm not sure. If we look on the other side of the wall, we can see where the actual paper came off, or the paint, and it's just the blue tiling, I think, right? Let's step into it. Yeah. Interesting. Look at that. Just cut off right there.
Look at the picture.
Oh, wow. I didn't even see that. Oh my gosh.
Man, these doors are heavy.
Dude. Wait, this is so cool. I mean, it's the same thing. There's a little bit of graffiti on the right-hand side there, but look at that. Oh my gosh. That's wild. Even crazier than the last cell. Huh. It's like they rotate from white to red, I think. Bland. That's so weird. So is this next one red?
This one's padlocked. No, this one.
Whoa.
It's got those weird markings on it as well.
Wait, what the heck? It's almost like nails. That's crazy. Huh. And then same thing with these ones. They're even more heavy duty, more drawings or scratches on the inside.
It's like, maybe that's how they decorated it. These weird markings.
Yeah, and death row. I mean, I don't think I've seen many death row prisons, only one other off the top of my head. So it's not something I'd be super familiar with. Maybe their mindsets were just different. They're counting down their days in a certain way or something. But this last one is just plain blue. Pretty, actually. I like that color. But I'll turn now so we can just see what this looks like from this perspective, looking down.
So we just come back down that hallway that we've just done to show probably what I would say is the best cells in here, and something special at the end.
Let's go. I'm so excited. Oh, the layout already looks a little more isolated and different. Oh. Whoa. Whoa. Wow. So I wonder if they moved prisoners here based off of when they were getting executed. I think it was 125, right, prisoners that were executed here in the span of this penitentiary. That's what we read online, which is just crazy. Oh my gosh, look at this. Plain white in here. Even the cell doors and bars are all white. This is crazy. That doesn't move. Huh. Look at that rusting there. And then this one, we go back to gray. Oh my gosh.
It's grey, but it...
Oh. Whoa.
Has that been burnt?
Or just like water damaged. I don't know. And moldy. That's crazy.
Behind you is probably the, I guess, not most aesthetically pleasing, but you know, the most notorious room in at least this building. So
I'd say the entire place.
yeah, let's have a look.
Guys, we're about to enter the room where 125 prisoners were executed over the span of about 100 years. Welcome to Tennessee State Prison's death row. The chair is no longer there. There's a makeshift chair. But right in this section is where all these prisoners had their final moments. Look at the vent above. That's insane. This must have been the room where they actually...
Good view.
Yeah. Could view, or... Would that be viewing? No. Wouldn't this be viewing here, almost on this side, and that would be where they'd actually, do the controls or whatever?
Yeah, it was an electric chair.
Wow. This is insane. I wish the chair was still there, but...
That'd be crazy.
Yeah, but just to be standing in a room where 125 people lost their lives is insane. Alright everybody, you know in every single video we do one thing and one thing only, and that is... That's right, chair of the episode. In today's video, nothing changes. We're choosing a chair. But I don't have anything silly or goofy to say, because right where I'm sitting, not again in this exact chair, but 125 people, I believe, were executed over the span of about 100 years. And so this is very real, even though it's tagged up, constantly kind of destroyed, and there's, again, not even the real chair here. You can feel the weight of what happened here and just how many people lost their lives and how impactful this was for so many people. This is just out of this world. I'm so happy that I'm here. Again, it's been about 2 years in the making for me, so to be sitting here in this very chair is extremely special. So once again, in every video, we choose a chair. Everyone, say hello. This is the chair of the episode. What's special about this one? I don't even think I have to say anything. Well, this chair, you can get out of here. But what this was right here stands for something much bigger than a chair of the episode. But it still is, so you all should say hello in the comments because this thing is still sick. Death row at Tennessee State Penitentiary, everybody. So now we're gonna head out of the death row building with the execution chair and the cells, and we are facing the second main cell block. Now this one is pretty much identical to the first, however the cell doors are the original doors and this was hit directly by the tornado, I'm pretty sure. So we're gonna try to get in here. I'm not quite sure where I'm supposed to enter from, probably down there somewhere, but as you can see just by a quick glance, all the cells, at least on the inside, are going to be the same. So it's really just the perspective from either end that I want to get. But I have to see if I can even access the building from this side first, or if I have to go somewhere else. I also have no idea where Tom and Kyle are, so hopefully they're around here somewhere. It seems like the activity has kind of leveled out around here. We haven't heard gunshots in a while, but we did also learn that there's a gun range about a mile or two away, we believe. So even though the Army does fly their helicopters in here for training, it seems like we're probably going to be good for today at least. Looks crazy. Mind the gap. Wow, I can already see in there. It looks pulverized. Oh wow. Okay, it's destroyed in here. Looks like there's a gate or a partition between the cells too. You'll see that in a second. But wow, look at this as I pan up. Holy moly. Pretty much exactly the same as the other one layout wise. Oh my goodness. Look at this. It's absolutely destroyed. Okay, so we're inside of the gated off wall now. Here's a shower. We actually didn't see any of these yet, so let me flick my light on and we can take a look at this. I believe we actually might have poked our head into one, but this one's bigger and a little nicer. And it shouldn't be tagged up on this side very much, if I'm correct about that. We'll see. But look at these doors. These are the original cell doors. This is crazy. Got a squeeze by here. And now we'll check out this cell. Look at the imprint of the toilet. This is tiny. This is so small. 2 shelves, a toilet, and a little vent, and that's it. There's barely enough room for me to maneuver in here. So we'll back out. And look at this. It's so thin on this side. That's crazy. Wow. And here's a little peephole. Wonder if you can see through there. Not really. That's insane. The decay on this side is actually completely different from the other. I mean, look at this. There's a grate in between the actual interlocking chain metal here. That's crazy. Or steel. Holy moly. This locking system is crazy. There's actually a physical lock on there. That's nuts. And the grates. Crazy. This was physically hit by a tornado. I don't know how the scale works for strength of tropical storms like that, but I know it was a strong one. This is nuts. Holy moly. Look at the peeling paint up on the ceiling. That's wild. That's absolutely wild. And if I turn to my left, in this cell, we actually have a toilet, believe it or not. This is crazy. From the peeling paint, and behind the paint, there's just different color wallpaper, which is insane. The actual doors in this one, I like this cell block a whole lot better than the one we slept in. I'm sure these are going to be quite repetitive, maybe just some more art on each one, but just the way this looks is absolutely crazy. Peek into this one last cell here. Oh, that door is so heavy, hard to open. And we chose a good one. It's decaying perfectly in there. Look at that. And even the ceiling too. Okay, so very carefully here because I'm not stepping on anything really solid, or at least that I know for sure is solid. I'm gonna move across this little hallway here, makeshift hallway, we'll call it, and go up. I was going to originally go into most of these cells because they are a bit different in terms of the graffiti and stuff, but as I started taking my B-roll shots, I realized just how many there were, and I don't think it's worth going in like 200 cells. I've already shot more than I probably need. So what I'm going to do is head up, show you the perspective from the second tier here. It's still not very spacey, but it's pretty much the exact same thing. And then we're going to spin and head up again. And this is apparently a spot we have to be pretty careful of because we're like right out towards the front. So I'm going to be very quiet as well. I think I can see the security booth, so I'm going to pan up. And carefully move through here. And it looks like if there was a wall, which I'm sure there was, the tornado probably took this out in its entirety. The cells are beautiful, but pretty much again exactly the same. We'll step into one just to see it slightly. It's not very roomy in here, but you get the amenities of, well, a toilet. That's pretty much it. Nothing else in this one. So we're gonna back out carefully, because if we back out too far, well, we're going down. But this just looks incredible. I'll stop here and kind of just pan out towards these windows. They're more just grates now. That looks so cool. And here is the actual wall to the prison. So over there is the power plant. It's abandoned, but it's kind of, I don't want to say off property, but it's not behind the fence, so I'm not sure if we're going to go in there or not. But this is just insane. I'll turn back around, push down, and look into one more cell before we head up to the next floor. I think we can open up this grate. Very decayed. But yeah, I think we get the point. We're gonna go head up to that top level, get the perspective, and then move on. Or at least I'm gonna try to go up. I mean, I was super exposed just walking around the end there, and I don't think there's no stairs over there. So we have no choice. I don't know, let's go see, guys. I'm not sure if it's really the smartest idea to go up any higher here. I mean, I know there's definitely active security at the very least. And they can kind of already see me if they were looking, peeking over the wall. It's very visible. But look very carefully out there. Huh. It's so sus. It's so sus. I just don't know if this is smart or not. Okay, that's actually not the security tent. That's just one of the makeshift offices. We're gonna do it. We're gonna go up. Even though this is kind of stupid. Because I wanted to see these. Again, pretty much exactly the same, but still super nice. Okay, so again, we have to be very cautious here. You can actually kind of see into the power plant a little bit, barely. Can't tell if there's turbines or anything in there, but basically, this is an access road to my left and to my right, to which security and anyone else can pretty much drive through. So we have to be really careful here. However, we are gonna do a little sneaky sneak very quickly. To show you guys. So then this is the top level. Looks like most of the cells are just closed up here. Again, it's kind of risky coming this far up, but I wanted to make sure we basically got to see every tier in here. Let's see, in the cells, very dark and locked, decayed, probably no graffiti. These are probably the most untouched, but I can't even really see in through there very well. Barely. But yeah, this one is much different from the first cell block. There wasn't this graded wall. I wonder if this was an addition or just kind of different from the other ones. Not sure. But now we've seen the cell block on the left, the right, and death row, which means I think we are going on to admin and medical and whatever else may be up here. But first comes first, let's actually look into this one cell because we can kind of see a bit better. It's pretty dark back here, but I will turn now and show you guys this view from the opposing angle, and we are going to go head down and get out of here now, or at least head on to the next building. Okay, look left and right. Left and right. Huh. Okay, so here's this one more time. Saw every single tier, at least to some extent. So let's head out and go figure out where Kyle and Tom are. I haven't seen them in a long time. Alright guys, so as I said I was looking for Tom and Kyle. They turned the corner and found me at the same time. So they're going to show me admin really quickly, and then we're going to go see the medical building and potentially one or two other buildings just to poke our head into. However, the other ones for the most part are pretty empty and destroyed, including admin. So I just want to see it because it looks like a castle, but other than that there's only one or two other structures to really see. There's a lot of jail cells here. A lot. Oh no way, did I miss a cell block? Oh crap. Oh shit. Well, hello there. I almost just walked right by this. This is crazy. We thought that the cells we slept in last night were cool. These are just like completely unique. Like, why are those stairs going all the way up there?
So this goes into admin.
No way.
Yeah, but it's completely ruined.
Is it seriously?
All the floors are gone.
Oh.
So
Okay.
use these stairs to get up.
Okay. Dang. All right, well, let's just step into here, guys. I think we've seen enough cells, like we've said, like 80 times. So all I want to do is just poke my head maybe into this first one here. And would you know, it's pretty much exactly the same. There's no graffiti or any artwork in there. So I think with that, probably good to kind of head up to admin. Like they said, can't go this way. So what do we do? Turn and go out?
Yeah, so we go,
Okay.
go left.
Okay. Cool. Awesome. Let's do it.
It does look like it's been like repainted several times.
All right. So now that we've seen those cells, I think that completes the cell blocks in general for this place, which is crazy. That building back there, the brown one, is the medical building. That's how we walked in last night. And these buildings here are pretty much just completely empty. Okay, so this is admin, correct? Oh my gosh, that's pulverized.
Yeah, so much like destruction is probably very similar to how the medical building probably is.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously the cell blocks are built to high sort of strength quality.
Yeah.
Whereas a lot of this is just like wood beams and things like that.
Yeah.
That's why it's just decayed away.
Wow. That looks nuts. Is there anything off to our left here?
Literally nothing of any real interest.
Okay. I mean, hey, this door is cool. Look how heavy duty that is. And I'm sure this isn't a cell, it's just sectioned off. Almost like a waiting room or something like that. Huh, okay. Well, let's just take a quick walk through here to see the lay of the land. Must have been storage or a workshop in here. And now we'll come back out here and let's walk down this section. I will turn my light on because it does look like it's somewhat dark in here. We have stairs going up, and then this forward section, and then this part here, which is completely destroyed. But I am going to go step into here with a little bit of difficulty and just see what's on either end of this. Lots of stairs. Those are going up as well. Doesn't look like there's a basement here so far. And yeah, this is just completely destroyed. I'm like tripping over myself right now. I'm trying to squeeze through this. But I just want to look into each of these rooms here just to see and confirm that there is nothing. And I believe these stairs, they said, are a little risky because it's straight out front. So they didn't want to do it, but I might go check those out really quick. Okay, that was a bit louder than I wanted. However, this is more of the full-on admin side. So let's just turn this way. And yeah, these rooms look like they're all probably going to be completely destroyed. Kind of pretty though, in its own way. Okay, he's still at the gate, so I'm going to get very low and just walk through here. Destroyed. What's this? Stairs or a hallway? Nope. Closet there. And then just a room. I wonder if I can get a shot of the security guard from any of these perspectives. Doesn't really look like it. No, not a shot. That is very pretty though. That's incredible. So that's the cell block we slept in last night. And I think we can probably show you. Actually, we're quite hidden right here. This is nice. There's that little road there that we have to be careful of, but this is not too bad. This is also amazing. It literally looks like a castle. Okay. Now, for probably the riskiest part of the whole thing, we gotta get super duper low first and just cross this thing. And then second, I have to figure out how visible we're gonna be if we're out here. Fuck man, that's pretty visible. Alright, ready? Okay, I'm assuming this is probably going to be empty, but just wanted to check. Yeah, okay. That room is empty and it's very destroyed, so I think what we're going to do is just flip around right away. And head up these stairs. I think this was the connecting part that I decided to avoid trying to get into the admin building. Absolutely destroyed, so I'm glad I did. Would have been for pretty much nothing. And same thing here. Okay, so this is the top floor. Oh, I hope we get a nice view. I think we are. We gotta watch our footing. There's a couple pretty nice holes there. I don't think they go very far though. And this view is not the front view, but it's a very beautiful view. Oh my God, that's incredible. Holy crap, it's better than I expected. Go low and go fast. I think we're good. Gonna sneak around out here and back down. I know, it is hot. I felt the first beads of sweat dripping down my back when I was in there. This is incredible. So I'm assuming that was probably a warehouse.
Yeah.
And these were probably warehouse storage or offices, and they're dilapidated. I don't think there's a point in going in those.
No, they are very much just industrial, bare, empty.
Well, hey, if there's no turbines or anything cool in there, control rooms, I say we head back to medical now, yeah. We have to be careful right here, guys. This is one of the gates that's literally open. Open here and open in the front and open in the back. Guys, it is so hot out. We prepped for it to be like 30, 40 degrees last night, and it's like 80 out right now. I am sweating. But we're gonna go back through the gate where we came last night, to that medical building, and then that's gonna close it out. That's gonna be it. All this stuff is completely empty. I mean, I'm looking into it right now and it's absolutely stripped on both sides, so there's no point to it. But this right here makes everything worth it. Yes, and Kyle down there. We love him too. This is probably an old guard's booth. Small one. And the guard towers are also tiny. Up in the corner, you can barely see it there. But this is insane, guys. Pretty much our last view of the whole complex for now. Insane. I'm in love with this place.
Just a room.
Thanks.
You can see how trashed this is.
Yeah, it's destroyed. What is that? A garage? No, it's just a brick wall or a cement wall. Huh. Bathroom maybe? Workspace? I don't know. Hard to tell. Definitely not a surgical room, I'll tell you that. It's very dusty. Okay. Interesting. There is a basement. Definitely. I don't remember if there was an x-ray or anything here. I feel like there was something in this thing. Oh, guys, look at this. This is so cool. It's a closet. Wow. So this was a holding cell or a shower of some sorts.
I like that it's chained so someone doesn't.
This, this must have been a wall.
Push past this chair. It's gotta be not completely empty, right? We got a sink. We got a bathroom with a chair in it that's red. We've got, well, a room with, well, some stuff in it, I guess you could say. Don't really know what I would call this, but a room. And then, what's Kyle doing behind us here?
Just checking out what's in there.
I don't know what kind of room this is.
This was a cage where they kept the crazies, Kyle.
Was it?
Yes, they called it the crazy cage. For people like you and me.
So we should go in there, right?
Come on, let's go in. What is that?
Spraying water.
Are you serious?
Yes. These buildings somehow still have water.
What? What the hell? Why is it going so fast?
A small hole. Thank God there's no power in here.
I know.
We'd probably be electrocuted.
Yeah. Oh, this is kind of cool. It's just an office, but very heavily decayed. But I will turn and pan to the right. We'll follow Kyle. And Tom said the tiling over here matches surgical potentially, but I don't think there's any operating rooms or anything left intact.
A lot of stalagmite.
Yeah? Huh. This place is very naturally decayed in here.
Yeah, I mean, who knows how much water is pissing out like that before?
I know.
Or unless it's always been like that in back cause.
It's true. So, Tom, this is all drop ceiling in here.
Yeah.
What do we think about that? What'd you find?
Yeah, this is what I think could have been
The operating rooms, right? Yeah. Huh.
Where they might have put.
I know. I was looking on the ceiling so far too. I mean, it would have been, you know, right about here, give or take. Huh. Oh, wow. There is an autoclave. I didn't even see that. That's actually really cool. It's the first real piece of equipment we've seen in here. Okay guys, Kyle's going to the basement and Tom's going upstairs, so we'll start up, work our way down. Have no idea what to expect. Probably empty and destroyed, but it's very bright up here. Okay. Yeah. That looks sick though. Oh. I remember this actually. Forgot about this shot. Okay, let's go back out into the main hallway. Oh, hello, Kyle. How was it?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Disappointing.
Nothing at all. You checked the whole thing?
It's tiny.
Damn.
Way smaller than this.
Alright, I'm assuming big and empty. Yeah. But the windows are open though, so we can get a nice shot of the prison from here. Alright. Let's do this thing. Let's get out of here.